Hi guys, and yes, this is video number 2. Jack's go lay down. I'm outside. I cannot wait till it warms up out here. So this is definitely one of the most passionate subjects that I have and what I love talking about. And if I can teach my team anything, it will be great. So time management and focus, it's such a huge thing, and I feel like we could talk about it every single day. So my personal journey with this, about a year ago, it was post-conference, literally a year ago, and I remember just thinking that I needed a way where my team didn't feel so overwhelmed with doing the business. You should not be on your devices all day long. Like, you just shouldn't. That's not, like, eventually you're going to burn yourself out, you know? I strongly believe that you can do so much with this business in a short time. A lot of you guys voted or responded to my question last night on how many hours you are willing to work on with the business. Serena, can you share this in the working chat, please? How many hours you are willing to work on with the business in order to succeed. And a lot of you guys said 4 or 5 hours, some high numbers. And I honestly was shocked. I don't know what I was expecting, but not that. I will tell you right now that if you are dedicating that much time, you'll all be ambassador, because that's a lot of time. I can literally teach you how to do 95% of this business. Hey, Heather. 95% of this business in a good solid power hour. An hour. And so this is what I'm going to talk to you about, is really how do you learn time management? How do you learn how to focus for your business? And it is a little difficult because you do not have a boss telling you what to do, and I'm not going to do it. I got out of the medical field being a boss. I have no desire to be responsible, for hitting your inbox up every single day to make you work your business. It's not sustainable to do that. And I'm only one person. And if you think about how many people we have on the team, there's literally no way I can message you all day long, every day, and do that for everybody. The idea of it is that you have to boss yourself. Would you have fired yourself by now? Probably. Okay. You have got to learn how to boss yourself, to have that internal drive, discipline, and grit for yourself. But I certainly want to teach you certain things that can set you up for success with this business. So, first off, something that one of my friends had actually taught me, one of my leader friends, and I loved it, and it stuck with me, is that you want to get a piece of paper out and a pen and truly write down what you do in your day. Not an overall, okay? You don't want to say, well, I basically sleep for this many hours and, this. No, you literally want to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then from the time you wake up, from the time you go to bed, what are you doing? How much time is spent cooking? How much time, is doing kid stuff? How much time with a lot of you guys work? And really put down, what are you doing? And if it's, a lot of you guys are doing family time on the weekends, when are you doing family time? Right? So put everything down on paper. Once you're done with that, find the pockets of the time. You have more time than you realize, Unfortunately, a lot of time is wasted with TV, Facebook scrolling. Now that some of you guys are doing TikTok scrolling, that is where you're going to find a lot of wasted time, and it'll probably make you a little sick to your stomach, because it's not being used for your business. And you might be going throughout your day and you're gosh, I've been doing so much for my business today. But in reality, how many minutes were actually spent messaging? 5, 10, right? That's where you're going to make your money. And yet most of that time was either scrolling. Maybe you took an hour to work on some of your posts and stuff. We've got to tidy things up. So what does your typical week look like? Write down the pockets of your time and put it to the side per day. That's first step. Next up is, when you're looking at your pockets of time, you're going to notice 1 or 2 days out of your week that you have more time than normal. Those are the days where you should be using for organization and preparedness for your next week to go forward. A lot of people choose Saturday and Sunday, but it's totally up to you and what your schedule looks like. those are the days that you want to do pre-planning of posts and stories, photo shoots, and possible meal prep. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit. Meal prep, y'all are doing your own things out there with meals and whatnot. I would use Pinterest to kind of get ideas. Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to do keto? Are you trying to do paleo? Are you trying to do nothing? Like, it really depends on how you and your family eat. And I would use Pinterest to get the ideas for it. Pinterest is such an amazing resource. So if you're doing keto, for instance, you can put keto meal planning for your search bar, and you're going to have all sorts of ideas. And then obviously you want to make a store list, go to the store, go get the ingredients. I love it. Charlene's been doing meal prep like crazy. Meal prep, you guys, is amazing because you have less frustration, less questioning. You already know what's to come. I feel like it's always a battle in my own, oh my gosh, in my own house. I'm like, I don't know what everybody wants to eat, And if you already have your meal prep, it's just like taking it out of the freezer or the fridge, put it in the oven, you're good, Meal prep is amazing. So meal prep is a huge one. It'll literally save you a ton of hours throughout your week all by itself. And that time can be spent more for your business. So meal prep is a huge one. Pick a day out of the week to do that week's stuff. Breakfast, lunches, dinners, even if it's just dinners alone, it would be huge. 2, photo shoots. I have never hired a professional photographer, like ever. Maybe one day I will. I've never. What I do is I bought a cheap Amazon phone holder. I love it. I'll put the link down below when I'm done. Love it. This thing is super hardy, and I can put it anywhere. I'll show you one of the spots I put it. I don't know what my dogs are doing. Okay, let's see if you guys can see this. This is like a plant holder in my backyard. I literally hang it from that and put my phone and put the timer on my phone, and I do all sorts of photos. I do the same thing in the front yard. And so you just have to kind of get creative. I was doing this once a week, and you guys, what happens is that, let's say I take 20 good photos, like really good photos. I just I like that one. You apply the filters on it, you do your thing. Like I would always suggest doing the regular camera first. Don't apply a filter. Like, don't go do Snapchat the whole time because it doesn't look clean and crisp. You want the outside lighting and you want your normal camera on your phone. And then you put a preset on it. So if you see some of the top leaders where their stuff looks maybe like a slight haze to it, but it's like, ooh, that's pretty, or brightens it up, it's because we put a preset on it. You can get some free presets. If you put your email down below, I'll try to let you use mine. It was working for a lot of people. I don't know if it's still going to, but put your email below and I'll give you mine. And that's really it, you guys. And then all of a sudden, all those photos, those are posts. And you get to recycle them. And what I do is I have a couple different outfits I change into. I change my hair up a little bit. All said and done, it's about 15 minutes of my time. And I have all sorts of content for that next week ahead. So the photo shoots are a huge resource. If you can get your kids involved, pets, whatever, obviously the more the better. When I lived on the west side of the mountains, I would actually do this right after church because I was always dressed up. I'm not dressed up very often. Okay, I usually look homeless and I'm in my PJs. So it's the days that I know that I'm gonna look cute, where my hair and my makeup is already fixed, then it just makes sense because then it's not taking out of time more out of my day. So photo shoots are huge. Pre-planning posts and stories. This isn't always the easiest, especially when you feel like your brain's not on, you're like, I don't know what to put. Try to use the pattern that I talk about with you guys, where it's talking past, present, future, sometimes catchy, sometimes friendship. I'm telling you, the pattern works. You got to do the pattern. If you're missing one of them, it's why you're not signing as many distributors than you want, okay? So talking about your past. And guess what? If you make one post, you can actually recycle that same post and pretty much say the same thing and put a different photo on for maybe 4 or 5 days later. And so I'm constantly recycling my posts and stories. Not only that, but Facebook has Facebook memory. So a year from now, all those good posts you can recycle. It's awesome. So I can't really use the ones from my first and second year because my posts were terrible. But from then on, you guys, I recycle all the time. It's so awesome. So, but as far as content goes, you've got to open up. You cannot copy and paste everyone's stuff. you can only do it for so many, and then it's like, ooh. So what I did in the beginning, and what I encourage you, if you feel like you can't do this very well, is follow some top leaders. Follow. And their stuff will come in your feed. And what's going to happen is you're going to look at their posts, and one of them's going to catch your eye. And you're like, oh, that's a good post. What you can do is grab the post and then put your picture, but you're going to tweak that post. Okay. And so basically it's like, okay, like that kind of applies. Not really that. So tweak it, put your own emojis. Guess what? It's your post now. I did this in the beginning because I had no idea. It would take me like an hour to do one post. I'm like, this is getting ridiculous. Like I had a newborn that's screaming, my other kids. I'm just like, I'm supposed to be making dinner, and trying to make a post was so like stressful, but you got to have that pattern: past, present, future. Sometimes catchy, sometimes friendship. It works. I'm telling you. Past, what have you gone through in your life? The hard stuff and the stuff that you certainly don't want to talk about. Okay. For me, it's losing my mom. It's being a poor kid growing up. It's being bullied growing up. Just being on like state assistance, being a teen mom, hardships with my marriage and stuff. Like any hard thing that you've ever gone through, I would just like make little notes on a paper and then spring off from that. And again, you can recycle. And you tie in the business at the end, like, I don't even know. I hated being on state assistance, blah, 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 blah. And I love that like my kids will never ever have to go through that because I decided to take a chance with this business, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Cause there are people on your feed that are on state assistance right now. There are people on your feed that has lost someone. There's people on your feed that is poor. There are people on your feed that has gone through some tragic stuff. And the minute that you start talking about it, you become relatable. And if you're relatable, they're now watching you. Hey, go lay down. Okay, so past, you have to. You guys, this is why I sign up so many distributors, is I talk about my past a lot, okay? Present, what are you going through right now? Like, I could easily take a picture right now with my dogs and say, this is my office view. Anytime, especially when the months warm up and you're at the beach, the park, a lake, anywhere kind of cool, take a picture with your feet showing or like your kids playing in the background. Because here's the thing, somebody that is at work that's not supposed to be on their Facebook is going to be looking at your post like, damn, I wish that's me, They're going to be a little jelly, and you want that. It's talking about time or what It Works is doing for you currently. If you've made $5, guess what? Be loud and proud about that $5 because that's $5 you didn't have before, okay? If it's buying a gallon of milk, you take a picture of that gallon of milk and be like, I am so grateful that I don't have to worry about some of the basic things, okay? Gas and groceries are always huge because people struggle with that so much. It's usually the number one reason why they sign up with a company like this. It's my reason, okay? So if you're at the gas pump, the receipt, taking a selfie with the gas pump, take a picture of your car, things like that. Or if you're at the grocery store, you're taking a picture at the check stand where it's like dinging up. Take a picture, of the aisles, the groceries that you buy on your kitchen table, the receipt, all those things are important, okay? So what happens is that people are going to get jelly because you're somewhere, or they're going to be like, I'm struggling with that. And they're noticing again. The other one, and this is the one that people forget about, and yet I feel like it's one of the most important things. Nobody is going to invest in you with that $99 if you are not trustworthy. Okay. And you are not trustworthy if you are not being loud and proud about this business and talking about the future with it. Because so many people quit right from the get-go. I talked about this earlier, right? People don't know how to boss themselves. They have no idea. Okay. So if you're talking about anything with the future, I'm a lifer with the company. I'm going to get this bonus. I'm going to make this income. I'm going to pay off this debt. I'm going to buy this with my paychecks. I'm going to go on this trip. Anything to do with the future, you talk about it, and you have got to do this all the time, all the freaking time. This is why I signed up with a random stranger that I never even had a conversation with, and not one of my bestest of friends. I love my friend, love her, but she was going through things, and I was super nervous that the minute I signed up, I would be left on my own, and I did not want that to happen, okay? And so Now, how did I sign up with this stranger? What was she saying exactly? Okay. She was taking pictures outside on how she's traveling for the summer. She looked really, really happy. And she kept saying, only with her team, you can get all these exclusive tips and tricks and da 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 da. And the FOMO was happening. I'm like, I did not want to lose out. Right? I didn't want to not have those tips and tricks on how she was so successful. Okay. So you should be talking about Team Inferno all the freaking time. You should be talking about how your best friend Miranda is like the #1 income earner for Washington State and you get her help too. I don't care if you just started. I'm your best friend. Okay. All those things should be talked about so that they have the fear of missing out. They know that you're in it for the long haul. Right? And that they can trust you with their investment, because it's scary to invest to me, $99 is cheap, but a lot of people are scared to invest any sort of money if they feel like they're going to be left in the ditch. Okay. So you got to talk about the future and have fun with it. You guys, this is the stuff on your vision board, right? Better have made one. Okay. So that is my pattern. And then I throw in, and I'm sprinkling all the good stuff, and then boom, in your face, I do a catchy post. And those are the ones that you see where it's like words only. I'm hiring my last 2 ladies that want to stay and work at home, making $500 to $2,000 a month, like if interested. You'll see quite a bit of them, right? You cannot do those all the time because it becomes spammy. And if you become spammy, people are turned off. They're not going to do it, and they might block you. Okay, so they have to be here and there, not all the time. And then friendship. I'm an introvert. I don't make friends like a normal person at all. I'm a hermit at home. If you talk about a friend that you've made in this business here and there, guess what? People will sign up just to make a friend. Okay. So, I made something yesterday where I went into more detail with Rai. It can really be something simple. But you definitely want to sprinkle that here and there. Okay. So past, present, future, sometimes catchy, sometimes friendship. Okay. I'm telling you the pattern works. In between those, your post cannot be just it works, because the minute that you start doing that, people, again, will be turned off. Who are you? Like, what makes you? What were you posting before it works? What makes you tick? What are your pillars? I used to talk about pillars all the time at the hospital job. Who are you? For me, my faith, my children, my pets, being inspirational, self-care, I just lost it. Oh, being funny. I like being silly. I like to prank people. I like just being a goofball. All of those make you, you. If you think about it, we are in a generation that people thrive off of reality TV. Like, they are fascinated with reality TV. And some of you guys probably watch those shows, right? The Kardashians, all that crap. Guess what? The minute you started this, you should be thinking about how your social media is your own reality TV. Your social media is your journal of sorts. Who are you? Okay? Be as you as possible. I don't care if you're weird, if you're a nerd, if like you have a weird sense of humor, whatever, you just use it because you're going to attract your tribe that way. Okay. So that is the pattern, the fluff. For me personally, like I'll like show what I'm eating. Like people like food. Okay. I'll show like a recipe. I always do like a funny quote of sorts. I like to travel. I don't do it too often, but when I do, I want to talk about it. I definitely like to talk about anything God related. And then my kids are crazy, so I like to talk about my kids. My dogs are being crazy right now, but I'll talk about my dogs. So that I would write down, who are you? What makes you you? And those are in between your It Works posts. Okay, so that's how to post. I kind of went into detail, but it's really, really important to follow the pattern. Your stories is slightly the same, slightly different. Okay, I put more of my customer-driven stuff in my stories than on my feed. The more before and afters and customer-related stuff on your feed, you're not going to have as big of interest, usually. Before and afters can kind of turn people off. It's a fine line in that. Now, if you are posting about your own before and afters, that'll get blown up. Like, hands down, you have like 100, 200 likes on it. People love your stuff. But if you're posting about other people, not as much. So you'll see on my own stuff, my stories are filled with customer stuff every single day. You can do 10 plus stories a day. Your stories need to be a little bit mixed also with the fluff, like the posts are. So you'll see where I do a distributor-driven one. Always do a poll at the end. fluff, and it's usually like a quote. Then a customer driven one about my skinny coffee with a poll at the end, fluff, maybe something silly, right? And then I do a distributor driven one, and then all of a sudden I push the video and I'm like walking my dog, which is what I just did, right? So you're kind of mixing it up. The working chat can help you a lot on this, because I literally hand feed you guys stories all the time. But that's how to do the stories. Okay. What else? I'll go more into the IPAs here in a second. How will you organize your potential customers, your potential distributors, and your host of posts? That's up to you. You can do electronic stuff, or you can do paper version. If it's the paper version, I would bare minimum get like a cheap dollar store notebook and divide it into 3. But if you don't write it down, or if you don't put these somewhere, you're going to lose your people. If you lose your people, guess what? Like, they're going to look at you like you're not professional, that you're just an amateur in this, and they're going to go with somebody else. So you have to become like a follow-up queen and king. Most people do not sign up right away. It's not until like 20 follow-ups that all of a sudden they're ready to sign up with you. And to really think about it in a way, how long did it take for you to sign up? A lot of you guys take a little while, right? Like weeks, months, years, right? Well, guess what? If somebody didn't follow up with you, you wouldn't have signed up. Okay, so you have to learn how to follow up well. Some people like electronic versions. Just be really, really careful. You cannot guarantee that your phone won't kabooey on you. I've had my phone crash 3 different times. A random tip, I actually have a separate Facebook group. Don't open one for your team. Don't do it until we have a conversation, and that's really like a possibility for triples and above, and then but we need to talk about it first. But I have a separate group open for my eyeballs only, where I actually save posts, stories, photos, ideas, where it's just holding in there. You can definitely use it for follow-ups, but this way it backs you up. So like, let's say your phone does crash on you and you're like, crap, there goes all of my photos. Well, if you back it up and put it in like photo albums in your separate little group thing, now you have it forever. So just kind of a random tip. So you need some sort of organizational systems for your PLCs, PDTs, and host of posts. Potential customers, potential distributors, host of posts. It's kind of cold out here, so it's like activating my cough. This is by far one of the biggest ones, Power 30s and Power Hours. You guys are preaching, saying, oh, I'm willing to work 3-4 hours a day on my business. It's time to back that up, okay? Those are your Power 30s and your Power Hours. Skylar, go lay down. 3, 4, 5 hours of your time, it does not count with Facebook scrolling. And that's a lot what you guys are doing right now. So Power 30s and Power Hours are basically where you literally plant your behind down. Like, I can do it right now. And you set up 30 minutes to an hour where you're only doing your business stuff. That's it. It doesn't matter if kids are running around the background, pets are running around the background, or hubby's talking to you. You got to figure out, after you analyze your 24 hours of your day, where are the pockets, and those are where your Power Hour and Power 30s are at, okay? Once you create this habit, all of a sudden you start knocking out a ton of your stuff in a really short time. So Power 30s, if you're going to do a Power 30, because that's only half the time, I would only have it for messaging. That's it. Messaging only. Who are you going to message? Likes and comments on your It stuff, votes on your polls. You can even go as far as those that view your story, host a post, and follow-ups. That's how you message. And if you have multiple social media accounts, obviously you can do it per one, okay? The Power 30 should only be with messaging, because that's the number one way we make money. Power Hour, you can get more done. You can get your other stuff. What are the IPAs? Income producing activities that all of us that are doing social media should be doing. Messaging, adding, posting, interacting, and self-development. If you're not doing one of those throughout your day, that's why you're not signing up what you're signing up right now. Like, that's why your business is at a stall, because you're not doing all 5. Okay? So messaging, I just went over. Posting, we already talked about. Adding, you got to add to your network. I personally just do females because it's easier. It just gets complicated with guys, and guys are just a different breed. It is that. Okay. So I add females, and it's always, I look on my Facebook friends list, somebody that is not a distributor, because that doesn't make no sense that you're competing. Okay. Somebody that's not a distributor, and I go to their friends list, and I keep going like that, because I I personally trust more people that way that's a friend of a friend of a friend, because I'm posting about my kids and all of this, right? So that's how I do it. I look to see if they have a clean profile, that they look like somebody that I could be friends with, and then I add like that. Interacting. It's hard to interact with people if you don't have your Facebook list printed out. I strongly encourage you go into like your public library and actually print it out to stay organized with your business. But basically, you want to interact with up to 30 people a day where you're being friendly, right? The more you're friendly with somebody, the more they're going to trust you with this business. So you're being genuine. Don't be fake about it. Okay? Fake is stupid. But basically, you're going on so many profiles and you're liking and commenting on some of their stuff. It's very quick. But you definitely want to do it throughout your day, because now they're going to see your It Works posts and you're creating relationships. Okay? Self-development. This is everything. I talked about this earlier today. It's 80% of the business. If you are not willing to like grow as a person, you'll tank. Okay? Because what happens is that you have a bad day and then you quit the business. You have somebody say no and it ruined your whole day. You have somebody that quit or whatever, like, and it just like you can't jump back up quick. And that's usually because you're not pouring into your cup. So self-development is praying, journaling, vision boards, reading books, listening to audibles, educating yourself with the It Works stuff with like videos, like on YouTube, doing other YouTube videos, like growth. How do you become a good leader? How do you become a good friend? How do you lead a team? What is entrepreneurship? What is all those things. So you're educating yourself and you're pouring into your cup every day. And it's super important. I usually know who's not doing it because I get the messages that you are being a super negative Nancy and you cannot get out of your own way. Those are the ones that are not doing self-development. I know it. Okay. So those are the IPAs that got to be done every day. Now, I'm going to say straight up, if even any of this sounds like a little bit overwhelming, you might want to consider just doing in-person stuff. The IPAs and all that is not difficult. Again, I can get most of my stuff done in an hour a day. That's nothing. But there are some people that literally social media is not your thing. It's just not. Like, it's just like, I don't want to post. I don't want to add. I don't want to talk to people like that, Then you might consider doing things in person. It is a million times easier. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's quicker. It's easier. It's simpler. For me personally, like I used to take online classes, and this is what this reminds me of, is it like online classes for school, like high school and college versus in person. What is the difference? Guess what? A 5-minute conversation in person it will take like an hour at home to type that puppy up, right? Those are the differences. And it's the same thing with this. We have homework. We have tests throughout our day, right? You got to get them done. That's your IPAs, or you're not going to make a paycheck. Or you can do something simple in person and get more done that way. And you didn't have to post. You didn't have to do all those things. Now, what is in-person stuff? That's having one-on-one appointments. That's blitzing. That means that you're talking to your cashiers. You're talking to anyone in public, right? It's doing sip and samples. It's doing try-its. You can get like 10 people to sign up instant in an hour versus messaging all month and maybe getting that same number. So if you value having the most time available to your family for yourself and you want to go quicker, then you want to do in-person stuff, hands down. Sip and samples by far like the most simple thing ever. Like you literally just talk to some girlfriends for an hour. Half of it's talking about products, half of it's talking about the opportunity, and boom. Okay. We have a lot of resources in here. If you still are confused with all of it, then hit me up. Like my inbox is open. But in-person stuff is huge. Now there's, on the other side of the coin, there might be some people in here that want to go super speed with the business. That you need that income, you need the bonuses and whatnot, then I encourage you to do both, in person and social media. Spend an hour to 2 hours with your social media throughout your day, and then spend, whatever else time making those connections, planning, I hate saying parties, but planning sip and samples, like networking and all those things. It's not hard, you guys. It's so not hard. But mixing it is really huge. Other time management and focus ideas. Product of the product. Hands down, that is the easiest way that you will have people jumping in your inbox wanting to sign up. is using your own stuff, you guys. Like, nobody cares about your Pinterest images. Nobody cares. It's not until you start using your own stuff and you're super excited and you're having results and you're talking about it. That's how I hit Ruby in 2 weeks, because I had psycho results and I told everyone and their mom, because I couldn't believe it. Like, our stuff is crazy, you guys. You will not find anything like it. It works well, it works fast, and it's clean. You know, like, you don't have to worry about junky fillers and all that. And I just told everyone. I talked to my mailman, I talked to my landlord, I talked to all my coworkers, and I don't know a lot of people, but I literally talked to anybody that would listen. And along the way, people signed up, and that's how I was able to rank so dang fast. So being a product of the product, it's time to stop self-sabotaging yourself. Let's get real now, okay? No one's going to hold your hand and say, hey, honey, you need to eat that salad, okay? You hiding in the closet and eating that Snicker bar, guess what? You're sabotaging yourself. It's time to really focus. You guys are literally paid to use your own stuff. You are paid to lose weight. You're paid to grow your hair out. You're paid to get rid of your acne. You're paid to have the energy. Like, that's insane, okay? All the purchases to Walgreens and Walmart and Amazon where you were trying to buy all those weight loss stuff, none of them paid you. All of these are a tax write-off. You're paid to lose weight and make money. That is why I was an instant distributor versus customer. I'm like, literally, like, this is basically the biggest incentive of my life, that I can make $1 million if I wanted to by literally losing weight. If you think about it like that, because all of the posts with the before and afters and stuff is money in your pocket. So what results are you going to work on? If you're super skinny, obviously you can't lose more weight. Grow your hair out. Use the skincare line. Get the energy. Right? Like, there's definitely other things that you can do. We have the lash growth stuff. So product of the product, your auto shipment has to be on, you guys. Like, it just needs to be. I don't know a single leader that has made it to the top that has not used their own products. There's not a single leader that has their auto shipment turned off. It's how you're successful. You know, it's like me opening up a restaurant and I refuse to do like the sampling ahead of time to even make the menu. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make no sense. Like, how do you know it's going to taste good? How can you sell it to others? Same thing. Now, have people been successful on maybe turn it off for a little bit? Maybe. But here's the thing. Like, you turn into that used cheesy salesman. Like, you know, like, you never have a good feeling trying to buy a car. Let's get real now. Like, they're going to try to overcharge you right? It's just like, it's a gross feeling. And that is what you're doing to your audience by not using your own stuff. Like, they feel like scammed. And you don't want that, okay? So use your own stuff. Be loud and proud. What does it look like? What does it taste like? What is it doing for you? Not only that, but obviously if you're using your own products, you're going to feel great. You're going to look great. You're going to have more confidence. You're going to have more energy. Your focus will be on point. If anyone has tried the Skinny Brew, holy crap. Like, I am a lifer. I don't even care. Like, if I was not a distributor, I'd be a customer for life with that stuff. I always have mom brain and I have autoimmune issues. So my brain fog it's an ordeal. Like, I have it on my freaking vision board, you guys, like, where I can get more focus. Oh, then I dropped my paper. And just to have a product that, like, it's like instant clearing of clouds. And I'm like, holy crap, I can get all my paperwork done, all my phone calls made. Like, I feel like $1 million. Skinny Brew is awesome. But using your own stuff, you guys, hands down, it's the easiest way to sign up customers. If you're not signing up customers, I would reevaluate what you're using and quit setting yourself up for failure. Quit sabotaging where you're eating good all day and then it comes to nighttime and you eat 2 pieces of pie and a 2-liter thing of soda and like 5 pieces of pizza. Okay, you're sabotaging yourself. Stop. Okay, so if you need any help with like ideas or whatever for your auto shipments, hit me up. Like, I don't mind at all. So enough of that. Use the resources right in front of your face. We have the best duplicatable systems. And for those that are newer, especially, you might not recognize what is right in front of your nose. The team page that we have, you guys, doesn't exist like, I've not seen a team page like ours. Not to toot my own horn, but like my original page was sucky. I worked really hard, months on the new page, what you guys are in right now, Inferno. The photo albums, if you've not cruised every single photo album, yes, should. Because there's a reason why they exist. But we have an amazing team page Spark Club, the word board scripts, all of those things is what the top of the top uses. I'm one of them, you guys. But if you go on your own deep end and use your own understanding with things, you are going to jeopardize not signing somebody up. Okay? So especially if you're brand new, I strongly encourage you to screenshot your conversation and put it in a chat. Working chat, ideally. Because then we can walk you through what to say. Now, you might not talk like me, but at least you have the bones of that conversation. Okay? I did not have this. Gosh, my dogs. I hope you didn't just now see that. But here's the thing. When I first started, I bombed every single conversation. I'm awkward. And it comes across in my texts. I'm awkward. And so I would have like interest and then ruin a conversation. Have interest, ruin the conversation. And it was just like frustrating. I'm like, what am I saying wrong? And all the trial and error of the last 4.5 years is what you guys get right in front of your nose. Use it. You all can be ambassador, double ambassador by using the tips and tricks taught. I'm that confident in what we do. The power hours, the IPAs, the word board stuff, the script, all of them work really well, okay? So please use the systems in front of your nose. If you sign up a brand new distributor, have confidence with our systems. Don't go on your own understanding and try to train a new distributor. If you're a new distributor, you have no idea what you're doing, use the systems, please. So the new DT checklist, the training videos, our Spark Club, being in the working chat, word board, scripts, all of those things will set you up for success. You guys are like wild today. Go. And that is part of the word board. Is something that we do need to talk about. I'm trying to see how I can like give you guys all my scripts in it. Hey, don't eat my paper. Look at my dogs. So I have amazing scripts for you guys. I just like, how do I give it to you? So first off, I would download the word board app. Word board, okay? Hands down, it is a game changer. It's amazing. Because here's the thing, I do have a scatterbrain. It's like, squirrel! I'm like, I don't know the answer to that. Give me a second, you know? And that was what was happening all the time. Like, you guys would ask a question, and I'm like, I know the answer to that, but I need to think real quick. You know, word board, literally, I don't have to think anymore. I go on my little thing. What is the price for this? Guess what? I use my little folder that says price. Then I scroll down, boom, send. Seconds. Hands down, the best invention of my life. Okay? Because it takes the question out of thinking. Now, if you are somebody that likes to voice message versus texting, well, guess what? There's apps for that too. I know with iPhone, they actually come with a voice recording app. Good grief. And you can pre-record your voice. So you could easily use my scripts and jot them down, or use your computer so you have 2 devices and just voice it. And then save it with the correct titles. So if you were at a basketball game and it's super loud, obviously no one's going to be able to hear you if you try to voice them, right? But if they're like, what's the price for this? You go to your little voice thing and send it. It's really fast. But WordBoard is like a game changer, I'm telling you. So I would love to know, like, maybe we can do a Zoom and I can like feed you what I have in mind. I'm just trying to think like how we can do it. But a Zoom would probably work the best. I will try to have a folder maybe for it, but it's really difficult to do something like that. Like, it'll get really overwhelming quick if I do like a folder and it, yeah. So I think I'm going to do like some Zooms back to back until like everyone's kind of loaded with them. I don't know. If you guys have an idea, let me know. But WordBoard is huge. Hi, Miss Rai Rai. And then a lot of people put not only time management, but focus in itself. Like, how do you focus on your business? How do you get it done? Guess what? It's time to boss up. You got to have the discipline. Discipline is internal. All I have to say, though, like if you start with that first thing I said, with looking at your 24 hours in your day and creating a block schedule of sorts where you will be working on your business, non-negotiable. It has to get done. You don't go to bed unless this is done. Then it'll create a habit, and if it's a habit, it's easy breezy, okay? So I would not go to bed until your IPAs are done throughout your day. Procrastination, why can't I say that? Procrastination, that's not procrastinating doesn't win. You think back in grade school, it never wins, it stresses you out. It's the same thing with this, okay? Just get your stuff done. I know that I can get more done in my mornings by far than anything else in my day. And it's usually after I drop my 2 oldest off at school. Cade is so mellow now, like he's easy breezy. And so it's usually after I drop off my Drajan that I really get a lot of my stuff done. But you got to figure out your time in your day, right? But creating habits, I will tell you right now, there are patterns in this business. It doesn't mean that you have to follow the pattern, but I'm going to talk about it for 2 seconds. You think about the seasons of the year. You've got fall, spring, summer, winter, right? Typically, summer dips. Typically, during the holiday season, things dip. And it has nothing to do with people not wanting products or wanting to make money, and everything to do with us distributors and our habits. Okay? So what happens is we're fine because our kids are in school and all these things, and then all of a sudden they're home and you're like pulling your hair out, like, what do I even do with myself? We have to learn those time management habits now so that you are set up for success, so that when summertime does happen, you're okay. So I just want you to really think about it, because we have time now. It's February. But usually what happens is we get to about mid-May and things start dipping. And a lot of you guys are leaders right now. A lot of you, and you're a leader if you have a distributor underneath of you. Do you want your paychecks to be nothing? Do you want 0 paychecks, right? Do you want to lose momentum? No, of course not. But if you don't boss up, if you don't learn those time management stuff, if you don't create those habits, how in the world are you going to teach your team? It starts with you, right? And then you teach your leaders, and then so forth. It starts now, okay? It takes, what did they say, 21 days to create a habit? I could be wrong on that. But I know when I was doing this last year, the power hours, like I was not great at power hours to start, you guys. Like I was so slow. I was like a snail. I'm like, I was like all awkward. And then I got faster and then faster and then faster. And if you go time me right now, I can get most of my stuff done in 30 minutes now. Boom, send, boom, send, boom, send, boom, send. It's using the time management. Wordboard, the voice recordings, all of those are like awesome, right? If you record your voice asking someone for host to post, guess what? I can send that to like 200 people in like less than 5 minutes. Technically my messaging quota for the day is done, right? I do want to do more. I want to do my follow-ups and be a good steward and like likes and comments and votes and stuff. But that's what I'm telling you. Like if the number one way we make money is messaging, and I can get my messaging done in like 15 minutes, you have your whole day. And then you're posting and you're adding and you're interacting and doing the thing. They don't take time. Like I listen to my audibles when I'm driving, when I'm showering. So it's not taking up time with my family, right? If I'm cooking or cleaning, guess what? I have my earphones in. I'm listening to It Works videos. So I'm educating myself and honing in on my craft, right? Like learning other tips and tricks for you guys so I can teach you. Like all those things, like it does not take time out of my day. I don't ever have to compromise like that, you know? And so it's just getting creative with your time and having fun with it. If you're not having fun, you're doing this wrong. This stuff is awesome. We help people for a living. We help people get a better lifestyle, like healthy choices, keep them out of the hospital, get them off their prescriptions, helping them lose weight and get confidence and feel sexy again, getting energy where they don't have aches and pains anymore. Like, that's awesome. And then there's the other side where you're helping that single mom get money. You're helping a college student, you know, pay for their college classes. You're like, what we do is freaking awesome. And if you don't feel passionate, it's time to reevaluate if you should even be here, or if you are not pouring into yourself with self-development. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this helped. I will have this on my YouTube stuff so that we have a link and you can share it and whatnot and come back to this. But this is what I've got. This is what 4.5 years of learning. Power 30s, power hours, word board, voice messaging, saving, you know, having your own schedule set, right? I'm telling you, like it's nobody's job to manage you. And I'm not going to do it. I will be here. I will be the coolest friend. I will mentor and teach and whatever, anything. I'm always here for my team. But I will not boss you up. It is not up to me for you to be disciplined. It's not up to me to motivate you. It's not up to me to inspire you. Well, I always inspire, but it comes down to you, you know? Like, I don't need a reason Like, no one needs to hit my inbox for me to work. Like, it never has happened that way. Like, I signed up and it was a sink or swim. Good luck to you. Oh, thanks for the help. So I had to do everything on my own. I had to figure things out on my own. You guys are lucky because you have a cool team page. You have cool chats. You have a whole family here to help you. But at the end of the day, I cannot do your business for you. It comes down to you, okay? Love y'all. Hope you have a good day.